And we are live. I timed that perfectly, by the way. 10 seconds flat when it went live. I was very pleased with myself on that one. Hey, guys. It's David with the Whiskey Rebellion, joined right now by Gino and Rob. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm back. Few week hiatus for me. It's been kind of a rough few weeks for me, but I'm back here. I don't know what you guys talked about last week. I actually didn't get a chance to see the show, but I got to meet Rob a couple of weeks ago up in Pittsburg.
Yeah.
We hang out, had a couple of drinks. Very much appreciate he treated me to some fine Pennsylvania whiskey.
Anytime, my friend.
Yeah, Liberty Pole, man. And yeah, it was absolutely great getting to see you and meet you in person. Circumstances were shitty. My grandfather passed.
Yeah.
We talked about on the show. Prior to that, of course. But he passed. I was up there for the viewing and funeral and all that stuff. But I got to check out for a little bit, and that was highly necessary. So solid dude, Rob. Solid dude.
Thank you.
What are you guys? What are you drinking tonight?
Go ahead, Gene.
I'm enjoying some E.H. Taylor tonight. Small batch, bottled in bond. Got this from a friend down in Canaan Valley, and as you can see, I'm thoroughly enjoying this bottle.
Let's do that.
So, yeah, it's what I'm having tonight.
Very nice. Rob, what you got?
I went a little off. I'm doing some Peerless Straight Rye.
Aren't we fancy?
Yeah. I picked this one up in Ohio somewhere, I believe, on my trip. Mr. Billy.
Billy.
Guys.
Hey, Billy.
Do a little ride tonight, getting geared up. So tomorrow here in the Western Pennsylvania region is the Whiskey Rebellion Festival. It starts tomorrow night.
You're going, right? Or you're gonna get pictures
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got to tell them about us. You got to wear the shirt, all that stuff. Like
absolutely,
you gotta represent. Like, hey, we're people down here. Like this.
The guys at Liberty Pole Spirits. I've talked to them a few times, and one of these days when work ain't so crazy, I want to go down there on a Thursday night and sit in their back room and try and get their get the owners to come on and talk with us a little bit. And
that'd be great.
Awesome.
Tell them there's one guy on the show that really loves their peated whiskey.
They just did a special release of a peated rye.
Oh man. Bring me the nasty. Like I know how people feel about it. I do, but when you're in that certain mood, that's it for me. I am drinking, by the way, and we'll go to you next, Billy. I quasi bottle kill because I just filled a flask with this, but the Evan Williams single barrel. This is the bottle Jody gave me actually. So appreciate that, sir. I've got some in my glass, being good to myself, as you see, the Cafe 305 glass. And my stepson got back from a trip to Europe not long ago, and he brought me back a flask from the Roman Colosseum, and it is now where the single barrel resides, the rest of it. So very, very pleased with that. And then, of course, in honor of my grandfather, my next pour is going to be the Old Granddad 114. Nice. So
there we go.
I'm excited to move to that one next. Billy, sir, how you doing? What you drinking?
I've been a little bit better. I'm not drinking tonight. I'll give you the little backstory. So yesterday,
better than what?
So yesterday, the wife goes to Publix to pick up some stuff, and she happens to see this little ramekin of Alabama white sauce. Right? So she thought it was funny, so she brings it home. And I look at it, and I was like, I always feel like somebody's watching you. So that's what it kind of felt like. And didn't pay much attention to it. So just before the night was about to end, I opened it up, and it smelled horrible. You guys seen me post a picture. I was like, look at this. So I just kind of left it there. So maybe 15, 20 minutes later, I said, let me taste this thing. Just when I tell you, I dipped my little finger on top of it and put it on my tongue. And instantly, I went into gag mode. Like, I don't know what's in it or what happened.
I mean,
there's sent me into gag mode, and I kid you not, I've had less than a stellar stomach ever since.
You know,
Like-
there were context clues, right, in the branding. I'm just gonna say it like that.
Well, you know,
First of all,
curiosity
that is terrible branding. Alabama
Yeah.
white sauce.
right. So, you know, and when I
There's
smelled it,
there's
I
a lot of
should've
places you can go. None of them are good.
right. You know, I took a whiff of it and I was like, "Ooh, this is horrible," and I should have paid attention to that. So I just let it sit there, and then I decided I was going to taste it. And when I tell you, my wife was like, "Are you okay?"
Mm.
You know how like you literally gag on something and you're like,
Yeah.
you don't. I had to go over instantly and get a cup of water and downed it. Like, and it wasn't enough of it to swallow, but just a simple fact, it hit my tongue. And I kid you not, guys, I don't know why. I've had less than a stellar stomach ever since.
Interesting.
Damn it, man.
Understand that.
It's H2O tonight. A lot of it.
Man.
Nothing wrong
Sounds
with that.
like food poisoning more than just bad sauce, honestly.
But you know, that's the weird part though. It wasn't enough to do anything.
Yeah.
When I
it's
tell you
true.
the amount that I tasted, it wasn't enough for you to swallow. I took my pinky finger, dipped it, and tasted it on my tongue, and all hell broke loose.
So
So
we know the moral of the story, right?
well, you know what though? I don't know that I have any kind of any kind of allergic reactions to anything. But I think it has something to do with the soybean oil. Every time
Maybe.
I get near this stuff, it does a number on me. So
Have you been tested for that? Like whether or not you have
No,
specific food
but
allergies?
but here's the thing, David. My wife has allergies. My child has allergies. I have no allergies even known to man. I can be around 100 dogs and 50 cats, nothing that happen. I can be in a room
You'd
that's
be
completely
surprised.
filled with dust, nothing happens. Seafood, shell food, nothing happens. Any kind of liquid you can think of, never had a problem with it. For whatever reason, I can only figure the soybean oil because a lot of people have a reaction to it.
Maybe that's it. You don't ever know till you get tested for it. You'd be
gotta get
surprised.
tested. Yeah, get
And
tested.
allergies change. Famously, I became allergic to shrimp last year. Like 40 years, basically, just fine. All of a sudden, boom, shrimp. I get the welts on my face. I'm like, what made that happen? I don't know.
And it's funny you say that because my wife, I'll never forget it. Our first date, we go out, we go to Grand Lux, and she has salmon, and I have the meatloaf. And now she can't even think about seafood, and she has to carry an EpiPen. That's how bad it is. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
My son-in-law's done the opposite way for years. That he was allergic to nuts.
No.
Like to the point where his, mom started on him at 9, and my daughter, when she married him, she's like, well, there was other things that
Okay.
there's some other family craziness there, but she's like,
You're like,
no,
ooh, we're gonna skirt
I
around that
wonder-
one. Okay.
I wonder if you're really truly, because he's been around nuts, he's been around peanut dust, that kind of thing, and not had much reaction. So they started the whole, okay, let's do rub a little peanut here. Nope, no reaction. Okay, let's make sure we're ready to get you to a hospital, but take a little bit. And so they just started introducing a little bit to him, and
Yeah,
lo and
you
behold,
can build up a
he's able to eat
tolerance.
nuts now. He built up some tolerance, and he's kind of over it.
Yeah. I used to get allergy shots, and it's effectively what they're doing is that they're giving you like a very small amount of the stuff that you're allergic to till you build up in your system basically a tolerance to that stuff. Like that's how it worked. Like, and I'm allergic to everything apparently. I'm like, I need to be a bubble boy not to have allergies. Shrimp was not on the list. Shellfish was not on the list until a year ago. So there goes another one.
It was about 10 years ago. We were down vacation in Mexico, and found out that I'm highly allergic to cilantro.
Huh.
Yeah, they were making
Yikes.
It was never a problem any time before, but they were making fresh guacamole right there at the table. I took one bite, tasted like soap, and then it was getting difficult to swallow.
Wow.
Wow.
Now I can't touch any bit of cilantro. It just throws me for a loop.
It's bad stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mark, you there, buddy? Oh, no, he's gone again.
He's gone
As soon as
again.
I say his name, Mark is having technical difficulties. He's in Alaska right now, and trying to figure out.
In Alaska.
I don't know if the internet's made it to Alaska or not.
He's
I'm not sure.
he's working from
They
home.
haven't-
He's working in 6 different time zones. So.
He really pissed off somebody, I think, and got sent to Alaska. Maybe I don't know, but hopefully he'll come back. We wish him well either way.
It is one good thing that we are not allergic to whiskey or corn.
Yeah, seriously. If I was allergic to alcohol or meat, I'd just have to pack it in.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Be over.
It's been a good run, guys.
What are you other guys drinking, Gino? What you guys drinking?
Working on some Colonel Taylor tonight. Bottled and bond.
Mhm.
Excellent stuff.
Drinking
Gift from a
some
friend from Canaan Valley.
Nice,
Very nice, very nice.
Peerless straight rye.
nice. Gino, how do you feel about that Taylor? How does it go down for you? Do you find it very hot? Tell me.
No, not at all. For 100 proof, it does not drink like 100 proof. It's very nice. It's you know, if I could find more of it, that would be a nice daily sipper. I mean, it's that delicious.
Nice.
That was my experience as well. And you guys know this. The people who participated in the Mule Day Parade in Columbia, I brought kind of like the last, I don't know, third or quarter of my bottle. I had the Taylor, but it was the single barrel. And yeah, it's like I picked that up before the hype really caught with Taylor. And I picked it up for like $45-$50. It was like there just on a stand, like, here's the Taylor. Like, you can just grab one, you know? And yeah, great drink. But absolutely, like, I kind of figured out pretty quickly afterwards that, like, this is highly sought after. But like,
Yeah.
It's a great drink. It really is.
It's crazy because here in Miami, it has dust on it on the shelf, and it's like
No way.
$45-$50.
Dude, you need to be snapping him up, man.
I mean, but here's the thing though. I have 4 or 5 of them, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, listen, I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
if you've already got a bunch, sure.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be greedy about it either.
But Billy, like you're talking about down there in Miami now, my friend got this bottle for just under $100. And she went to go get another one lately, and the guy's keeping it behind the counter. The price is up to $275. Yeah.
Billy's about to become a bourbon flipper.
Yeah.
And so there you go, bud. You could be making a killing.
I know you're not.
You know, and here's the weird thing for me. What's up, Mark? By the way, you know, when I see situations like that, people who I'm close with, I will reach out and ask if anybody wants one, you know, that I could pick up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever been into flipping, only because I feel like it's meant to be drank, not to just sit on the shelf. You know, working a lot, I don't get to drink as nearly as much as I would like to, really, except for the weekend. So I tend to cherish the stuff that I have, but I'm not in the saving business. And to me, I rather ask somebody who I'm close with, hey, are you looking for this, or do you want that? Or somebody mentioned something to me, I'll just get it for you, you know. But it's not something I advertise, you know. You know, there was even a point where Eagle Rare was on the shelf with dust. I even have a Magnum Eagle Rare that I got for $89. You know, the biggest one they made.
Yeah, for sure.
And my thing is, I don't even know how to crack that thing open. It would have to be when we all get together, because it's just, you know, if I had to open that thing, you know. But so for me, it's not even necessarily about flipping. I think it's about making connections with people who I'm close with, who can't get stuff, and that's always been my MO, always.
Yeah. I hear you, and I respect the flaws, and I go back and forth with this all the time. Like, ooh, if I got my hands on this, I'd flip it. But then I'm like, oh, one of the guys, he might really enjoy this. I couldn't I couldn't upsell to him. I just couldn't do
Nope.
that. If I knew one of my friends was looking for a bottle, one of my actual friends, like not, some
Right.
rando,
Not
on the
Jody.
internet kind of thing. Yeah. No, he doesn't count at all. He's as he'll tell anybody, we're not friends.
I did the same thing. If I can find it, you need it, it's on its way. I don't even quibble about the
and-
Yeah,
price.
no, I feel that.
And I guess for me, the other thing that I never got, and why I'm not even a part of any of those secondary pages, is because I don't like the politics behind it. I don't.
It's very
Some people will call me a bad businessman, I guess, but even for me, it's like when I have customers. So when a customer orders, I can look at the profile and they'll tell me, this customer has ordered from you 18 times. This one has ordered from you 22 times. I will send them a free bottle of something without their knowledge, only because it's the appreciation. Out of all
Sure.
of barbecue sauces in the world that you could go to your store and get and have in your house in 20 minutes, you wait for me to package it up and get it out to you. So for that reason, I rather, send my
100%.
customer something. It's never been about the money, and Lord, let me keep that trait that it never becomes about the money, because, I think the wisest thing I ever heard was, money can buy you happiness, but you just have to give it away. And I was like, you know what? I understood that. I really understood that. So that's that. Mark, talk to us. You look tired, bro.
Are you on a pad now, or are you?
I'm on my phone.
How do you get? I could not. I tried doing that from work one day. I can't. My phone wouldn't connect.
Is it? Maybe it's the. I don't know if it's like if it's like an iPhone versus Android thing. I don't know. Like, I've never tried it on mobile, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I couldn't. My phone said it. The StreamYard said it. Well, I had to go be on a PC to connect.
You couldn't even use a browser like a Google, like a Chrome browser on the smartphone.
No, because I tried it once on a smartphone, and actually, when you guys put the link in the thing, I actually had to copy the link, send it to myself, and then open it on my computer.
That's weird. That's super, because this whole thing is designed to be like way easier to use than say like Zoom. Way more user friendly because it's all browser based. You don't need any special software, no app install, this and that, just whatever browser. But then again, I'm always on my laptop, so I don't see people who are struggling with having to do it on mobile. But anyway, Mark, we asked you how you were doing and then cut you off immediately. What's up, man?
That's all good. I'm good, man. I am tired. I'm good though. I'm good. Damn, stick time zones getting on my nerves, but
Yeah, I'll bet.
So are you in Alaska or are you in Arizona just working with people in Alaska?
Yeah, I'm sitting at home. Yeah, I'm at home. We just got from east coast of the U.S. out as far as Hawaii.
Man. Yeah, because you confused the hell out of me when you're like, what's that in Alaska time? And I'm like, fuck if I know. It's an hour. The show starts an hour from now.
Like whoever that was that said an hour from now, that's what I need.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I was like, I carried the one. It's in an hour. It's like.
Yeah, it was in Alaska. I was not doing that math. Sorry.
What are they? 4 or 5? I don't even know.
When it's 10 o'clock at night and the sun's still up. Yeah, it's okay.
Right. Till December, then you get that 30 days a night. But Mark, what are you drinking, man?
So my theme has been for
look at you. Go ahead. Is that the small batch or is that the
small batch? You can see how much I hate.
There you go. You and Gene drinking the same thing tonight.
My man.
Hey, right here, boss.
Great minds think alike. I'm pouring the 114.
Yeah, so I've been doing the hated bourbons. So I've done Old Granddad 115, Blanton. I didn't post today, but I did Stag Junior. I think Jack will probably last one. Let's argue if it's bourbon or not.
Sure. I don't care if it's bourbon or not. I care if I like it. That's
all that matters. literally that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But you know what, fellas, it's still a lot of hype with that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
You know, and I can imagine it's probably going to be like that for years to come. And I don't understand it, why people get into that whole thing. To me, I think it kills the sport. You know,
Yeah.
Mark and Rob can attest to it that, you know, when you go in a cigar shop, no one cares about what you drive, what you do, what cigar you like, or, you know, if you can get this cigar. No, nobody cares. Listen, let's just sit down, have a cigar, and chat. It doesn't matter if you're smoking a $25 Padron or a $8 CAO. No one
Mhm.
cares. And I don't understand that in the bourbon world, why people feel like they want to tell you how to drink it, they want to tell you when to drink it, what you should and what you shouldn't be drinking, and you're a tater for doing this and you're this for doing that. I don't understand, because it's one of those things where it kind of should be, we all have a common ground.
You would think that, because, and this is true across, because I'm in a number of extremely varied online communities who are people who are just enthusiasts about a thing, whether it's bourbon, and it's not cigars so much for me, but like, or video games, and I'll read the room and not delve too much into that, but like people who love like this one game that came out, whatever, and there's this community of thousands of people who want to talk about this game, and the elitism and the made up rules about what you're supposed to do and what you can't do, and they're going to talk shit to you if you do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, this was my dime though, right? I paid for this, right? Am I not going to do what I want with it, whether or not we're talking about bourbon, or a video game or a cigar or a car or whatever it is that you're into? Like, why are you going to let somebody else tell you like how to be accepted in this community, right? It defeats the purpose of the community, but it's how people are. It's, I don't know, like trying to establish a pecking order, or someone just has a very small life and they're trying to make themselves feel bigger. I don't know.
But you know, I probably get at least 1 or 2 invites for some bourbon group or cigar group every day, and it's like, no, thank you, because enough is enough. I have enough, and I don't need any more. And I think the other thing that I wish people would really try and understand, that either when it comes to like Jeeps, cigars, bourbons, whatever have you, these are all kind of luxury items. Let's just face it.
Yeah.
Very few people fall ass backwards into buying a Jeep, because if you know anything about a Jeep, it's going to be expensive to own. It's going to be expensive to keep. It's going to be expensive to dress it up. So in our group, we all kind of celebrate each other. We have these things where people will get together and help you put parts on. I've had friends come over and help me lift up 200-pound bumpers and just put it on the front of my Jeep. And nobody cares about money. We're friends. We're in this together. I just wish the bourbon world was a little bit different. Even in the barbecue world, I have people who don't know me from a can of paint who own barbecue restaurants. Hey, let me buy some sauce on you just to give you a shout out. Or, you know, and it's like, no one's trying to bash anybody's over the head. So it just, sometimes when it comes to the bourbon community, it's kind of like, I don't get it.
So there's what you're talking about, say like with the Jeep stuff, people coming in and just helping out, or with, you know, people who are either like restaurateurs or chefs, you know, and talking about your sauce and stuff like that. These are people who put in work to their passion, right? When it comes to, honestly, bourbon, cigars, entertainment items that are just purely entertainment, the only requirement is to have the money to participate, right? You don't have to have any other skin in the game. There's no blood, sweat, and tears in it, right? So you get this more superficial kind of participant that you won't see in some of these groups that are more about people who are really about it, you know, in that sense. Like, I think that's what you're dealing with probably. So when you're, you know, talking to like your Jeep guys, like, yeah, we'll come help out, and, you know, doesn't mean anything, you know, pick up this bumper, put it on for you. Like, we're just going to do it just because we all love this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, cool. But with bourbon, yeah, you'll get a bunch of sneering assholes calling each other taters and everything else. And just the toxicity of it. It's like, it's because you're not really putting in effort, I think.
And I think it's why I find myself not really wanting to. I'll post in different groups every now and then, but to be as active as I am, like in this group, no, I don't do that with any other group. I
For
don't.
sure.
It's like, me and Rob have a lot in common. I'm glad to have Gino on the show.
Mhm.
David, I could give you hell about anything, and nobody takes it personal. And the biggest thing that I love about our group, nobody cares who has what, because you know what? Literally anybody can get what anybody else has,
Mm.
almost at no cost most of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
we get it if it's one of those hard to find items or a little bit overly expensive items. We get it,
Right.
but I've asked Jody for a bottle of Blanton's, I think twice, and it just showed up. So
Exactly. I think that's an interesting thing too, because I think it wasn't 100%. I think we all had the intention when we started out, but it's like, oh yeah, you send me this, I'll Venmo you. Like, I'll, just tell me what it costs, I'll hook you up. And now we're at the point of like, just tell me what you need. Like, just tell me what you need, and we don't ask or talk about money anymore. Because it's we act in good faith towards each other, and that level of trust has been established. It's one of the things that makes it special.
And it's like, whenever we in somebody else's town, David, you was in PA, Mark's been down here to Miami. It's like, listen, if something went sideways and you needed somewhere to lay your head, you can knock on somebody's door and you'll be okay.
Yep.
And
you gotta like dogs to come to my house, but you're welcome, any of you guys.
But again, we don't have that with any of these other groups, at least not me personally.
Nah.
When Mark posts something, I actually take the time to look at it, read it, aside from him being hungry all the goddamn time,
And who can blame him, man? I was talking to Gene before we started. I was like, always posting pictures of your damn smokers and all your delicious ass meats and the 305 sauce. And I was like, I'm hungry constantly looking at y'all's damn posts.
Hey, but listen,
don't stop though.
that one shot Gino did where he's holding the bottle and it's just over the I think it was like burnt ends. I was like, I wanted to get high on my own supply.
Seriously, you gotta watch it, man. And Rob too, man. You post some amazing pictures.
I was on phone calls all day. So
don't shrug it off, Rob. You're a good ass cook, man. I've seen your photos, man. It looks delicious.
Yeah, it's just average stuff, man.
Whatever.
I ain't into that high end crap, man.
Yeah.
Keep it basic. Keep people happy. That's the way I look at it, right?
Yeah, but you cook for yourself too, and we've seen stuff you've made for yourself.
But believe it or not,
it's good shit, man.
As people who do it for a living, we're not impressed by the fancy stuff because we know what goes into it. And I'll give you a hint for whoever's out there watching. When you see some chef come out with something and he's got some crazy name, that's just something he pulled out of his hat, much less probably his ass.
I was about to say
it's still, parsley mixed with pine nuts and olive oil. It's still pesto.
Yeah.
So it's still funny. Like, yeah, but they'll give it some fancy name. But that's why when you guys see me do videos, and I'm always cooking hearty stuff because I like to eat the way I cook. I can promise you this. When I had my restaurant, the one thing I always kept in the back of my mind, I refuse to let anybody leave here hungry. You might be mad because you don't know what you're going to do with the rest of this food, but you are not going to leave here hungry. But, in a place like Miami, you can go into a place and 2 people and spend $800, and I kid you not, you will be hungry when you leave.
Yeah. No, thank you. You can keep that.
Yeah.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can tell you as a chef, ain't no one hell I'm spending $800 on a meal that I know I could cook myself. Absolutely not. Hell no. So.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know if it pisses me off, Billy, but it's the right term. But why all the happy new lovely chefs like to use the tweezers and the pinchers and with their little micro herbs on top of things, and we'll use our little and twirled just this little bit with that, and
well, you know what happened? What I think has happened, Rob, is
Rob,
think
you know what really grinds my gears?
no, but here's the thing, and Rob can attest to this. In order to work in a kitchen, you had to be gangster back in the day. It wasn't about being famous. It wasn't about walking around with a clean chef coat on and just yelling out orders or standing in front of the restaurant trying to, sweet talk ladies out of their underwear. You had to be a tough guy. You had to be tough skinned. You had to be fast. You had to be strong. You had to be made for that kind of thing. And now it's gotten to the point to where everybody's delicate. And I'm a celebrity chef and I'm an artiste. Not even an artist. I'm an artiste. So my plates are put together, with all these little increments. And it's like, no, listen, you kill it, I'm going to cook it, and I'm going to put it on your plate.
Mhm.
That's where I'm at now. It's just where it is. I mean, when I was going through, cutting my teeth in the industry, I got into fights on the line. I got yelled at, cursed at, stuff. And you get in the fight, and the chef be like, are you guys done yet? Are you finished? All right, now I need 3 Caesars. I need 2 steaks. Just get back to work now. So, and if you look at it, and it's unfortunate because maybe I'm kind of a cliche myself, but now I know to be quote unquote like a chef, you got to be all tattooed up. You got to have this funky hairdo, and you got to have some kind of crazy style of cooking, this fusion. Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, keep this simple.
Yeah, I think it's the idea that I think people have seen too many of these cooking shows and stuff like that, and too many of the travel shows when you have some really eccentric chef or something like that, and they, it becomes part of the experience is that you're dealing with some person who is just like way out there, and you want to experience whatever craziness they're involved in because it's going to be new and wild and different, because apparently you're so burnt out on just regular good quality stuff that you need to go over the top to wow somebody anymore. But I hear you, man. I got no use for it either. But
here's what's so crazy. I would probably say a good 80% of the people have no idea what good food is.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
If you want to know what good food is, go to places where they treat you like everybody else gets treated. Go to New Orleans. Go to the French Quarter.
Yes.
No one cares who you are.
That's right.
Walk in there, get a pitcher of beer, a bucket of crawfish, and some corn. No one cares who you are. Nobody. If you want some really good barbecue, Texas, Kansas City, Miami coming, it's like that. If you want a good Philly cheesesteak, go to Philly, go to one of the street carts and get a Philly cheesesteak. You don't need to sit down and pay $80 for a sandwich.
Or hit Pittsburgh and get that Permane Brothers, right?
You get what I'm saying? So it's
the
one
original,
of those things.
baby.
Original, where they literally, as part of their shtick, they treat you like crap when you walk in there.
Right.
They're like, what the hell do you want? Like, I've had that said to me in the Permane Brothers. Like, and you order your food and it's delicious. Like,
hey, what's the place?
Permane Brothers. In
Okay.
Pittsburgh. I think it became a chain. I don't know if it's still a chain, but there was the original in like the red light district or whatever. Like, and it became a chain where it's like a little more commercialized. But I went to like the OG before it became a chain, and like that is their shtick. Like, they're supposed to be rude to you when you go in there. Like, that's and part of it. But the food's delicious, and they put the coleslaw on the fries, on the burger or pastrami sandwich or whatever the hell it is that they're making. Like, and it's corned beef is delicious. It's so
like
anyway,
if you go to Boston, there's a bunch of bars literally across the street from Harvard, and I guarantee you, it's some of the best burgers and hot dogs you've ever had. Back in the day, I think they've been gone, but there used to be this place called Carnegie's in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And the Carnegie, they would make this sandwich called a Carnegie. It was what was it? It was pastrami
and corned beef,
and a slice of bread, and then a thing of corned beef. But when I tell you, it was the size of a baseball. So the sandwich sat this high off your plate, and it was like, wow, that was really good. It was
1.5 pounds or 2 pounds of meat. It was big.
Yeah, so
delicious.
I
Man.
don't know where all this delicacy come in at with food all of a sudden and cooking with, astrophysics and I'm not gonna be impressed by that.
I'm not saying there's nothing to it at all, but I think people lean into that crap a little bit too hard, trying to find a way to be unique rather than just doing it right.
Stand out in the crowd.
And you're seeing that in the bourbon world. You got the guys trying to speed up the process of aging alcohol.
I haven't found it to work yet.
Reverse osmosis, running it in a stainless steel tank with just chips a barrel of charred oak in it, pressure in it, and I'm like, no, I don't care what you do to the whiskey. You can't age something 4 years and that you can't take that aging down to 6 months and say, yep.
I welcome the opportunity of it happening, but I've tried some of those and I've not been impressed. So like, if you can do it, great, but you haven't done it yet. So,
and listen, like Rob said, it's happening in the bourbon industry. Now you can be a certified mixologist. No, dude, you're a bartender. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
A bartender is a great profession. You can do it as long as you can stand on 2 feet. And if you're good at what you do, you can make more money than you would probably know what to do with. Are you going to be Bill Gates? Probably not. But listen, I know bartenders who've been at places, and I know bartenders who make more than $100,000 a year. A bartender.
Sure.
Let's be real about it.
Okay.
Let's be real about it. But now I'm a mixologist, and I wear a tuxedo when I make you a martini, and I got to do all these magic tricks and flipping, and it's like, what? And then at the end of the deal, you're literally paying $18 for a rum and coke. Are you serious?
I mean, there is that element. It's just like flipping bourbon, right? Like if someone's going to pay for it, then someone's going to do it. Like if I can mix a good drink, and if I'm going to end up getting paid more because I'm giving them the experience by looking snazzy, like they've gone into a speakeasy, and I'm going to put on that role or whatever and act a part. Yeah, I'm gonna separate those people from their money. Like, and I don't hate people for doing it. At the end of the day, like I'm not mad at anybody who's doing that.
I'm not either. No, I'm not a hater.
I just wouldn't be one of those people,
But my thing is this. I don't think it's if you go in with the aim of separating people from their money, I think you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yes.
You're in it for the wrong reason. Because let me tell you this. If I make a good enough brisket, I don't have to argue with somebody when I tell you this whole brisket is $185. But it will feed 12 people.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But for me to make you a bourbon, a platter with a little bit of brisket, some sausages, and some chicken, and charge you $60, no, dude, that's not where it's at.
No,
that's just not where it's at. I'm sorry, it's not. And truth be told, could I charge $300 for a brisket? Yeah, I could, but do I need to?
Right.
Do I need to? I don't. I want a little bit of money, but I want your entire heart. I want your loyalty to my brand. If I have that, I never have to worry about money from you ever again. Never.
If not, what
you. So
that's those are the old ways. When there was still like ethical capitalism wasn't an oxymoron. Like it's it's where we're at now, and man, Mark is killing me. Popping in and out.
In and out.
Well, listen, he's got to listen. He's trying.
I know. It's not your fault, man. I appreciate you trying to hang in there.
So tell me. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I'm going down to this whiskey rebellion thing here.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow night, the opening is called the Whiskey Walk. So all the businesses in Washington, PA, they've each got a different, there's 6 or 8 distillers. So it's a pass. buy your pass, your ticket, you get a glass, and you walk to all the businesses, and you get to visit all the different distillers. And wow, we got a cheers from Germany.
Parzival. Cheers from Germany. Hey,
Damn.
I've had German whiskey. I quite like it, actually.
Look at our little channel go, huh?
Cheers to you, man. Yeah, we're worldwide, apparently.
But
now I must have turned them on to us.
really looking forward to this, and I'll probably start the afternoon off because I'm not going to use the other word, but I'm technically not scheduled to be at work tomorrow.
There you go.
I'm waiting for the text. I may have to go in the morning, take care of one or two problems, and then got the remainder of the day to do.
Okay, because and not to interrupt you, Rob, because I am Ron Burgundy. I will read whatever is written on this teleprompter. I'm so drunk tonight, I'll shave my head smooth live in stream. If a woman comes in stream and smokes with me, drunken challenge with the thumbs up and the.
Look at you. Hold on.
There you
I got this.
Hey, hold on. That might be possible.
You better hurry up and do it before the Germans get here.
Oh
wow!
Mark, get on that. I know. You know some folks who might.
He's got some folks. He's got some peeps.
Link, please. He wants a link.
So
Before you jump in, we gotta do a little bit of vetting before you join the live call, sir.
Yeah,
right.
Because we're not trying to get kicked off of Facebook tonight.
Oh no.
Zuckerberg be watching, okay? Nothing personal.
So, Rob, is there any place
around for a while? We'll talk.
you're looking at going to tomorrow? Any particular establishment?
Well, I will go visit, and David, when he was here, tried Liberty Pole Spirits.
Yes,
they have their main distillery is in downtown Washington, PA for right now. They're moving it at the end of the year. They're building a new distillery down by the Meadows Racetrack, David.
I won't pretend that I know where it is. So
I know where it's at.
down the road.
Okay,
but they're building a new facility with a much larger output capacity, and they're building a rick house on the property, so they're going to be able to do a lot more aging and stuff. But I'm definitely starting off there. You know, my friends from Big Spring Spirits, which I talked a little bit about them. We've talked about them guys before. They have they're out of Bellefonte, PA. They've actually got a Whiskey Rebellion rye release coming out that I got in on. There's something going on, and they're more central eastern PA is where their base is, and they're doing something with the Pennsylvania Military Museum here in a week and a half or 2 weeks, and they're doing a special rye release just for that event. Nice. And I was able to get in and order a couple of bottles of the rye, so I'm waiting for that to get shipped from the house.
You already know Jody's going to want one.
I got a question for you, Rob.
He's like,
so when a distillery builds a new facility, right? So obviously with the old facilities, they have all their rooms and they have all their barrels stored around the property. When they build a new facility, do they start fresh and start aging stuff, or do they move stuff around so it's more spread out?
They have several different barns that they age in, warehouses that they age in once they get it distilled and barreled. But I think they're bringing a lot of that in-house. I mean, they've got new stills, they've got those kind of things, so they can produce more. I forget what they told me what their amount of barrels they can produce at one time is, but it's not a large number, enough to keep the state, keep them on the shelves in the state store, and they're not a Buffalo Trace or a Sazerac or
right,
any of these big boys, but
because that's even what I was thinking. Because if you're taking the case of an Eagle Rare, which is a 10-year, I mean, it's allocated, but let's face it, there's no shortages. We're not gonna have to go a year with Eagle Rare, so I would imagine they have to keep
Oh,
a
yeah.
massive amount of Eagle Rare just in rotation that's been there for God only knows how many years and how many more years to come, you know?
Well,
So if
you
you
know,
think about it,
when you
how
think
much
about all the and you go back into the time when bourbon was kind of waning, right? And you get a lot of those extra aged bourbons that people were still looking for. Well, when all those distilleries thought like, shit, I'm thinking 3, 4, 5 years in the future, or 10 years in the future, in Eagle Rare, but I can't produce this right now because the money ain't flowing. So they all had to there will be a point here where things will, I'm hoping, loosen back up a little bit, because they have more product that will be coming available, because as they saw their popularity increasing, they're like, oh well, no, maybe instead of just like doubling our output, let's triple what we're doing this year. So in 5 years, 4 years, 10 years for this particular line, we can release heavier.
right.
And that's I can't even imagine being the person who's got to sit there and play that game.
I would think
No,
it
man.
would drive you insane.
No,
I mean, especially if you got to think for, okay, how many barrels of Eagle Rare do I need to have 10 years from now? How do you even come up with a number remotely to what you think you might need 10 years from now? You know?
I have a problem doing it every other week. I'm on a 2-week cycle menu, trying to figure out, okay, this group of kids is changing to this group of kids. They're a little bit older. Will they eat this more, or will they eat this less? And that's only 2 weeks. I can't imagine trying to do that shit for 10 years, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird like that. So it's interesting that they're building a new facility and they have to figure out how to do it. And I guess at some point, it's caught up with them. Not I can remember it clearly, but I can remember where Pappy was like down towards the floor, as a young kid, because my grandfather was into bourbon and cigars. I remember going with him to the store, and it was kind of like it wasn't what it is today, not nearly. Pappy was like, yeah, it was just one of those things. I mean,
I've heard those stories. I've never seen that myself. I guess I came in too late for it. But I know, like back in like the 80s or whatever, like it wasn't really a thing. Like nobody cared.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I can remember at that time. I can remember my grandfather having green cigars, which were absolutely horrible, But it was kind of.
It was in
Oh
vogue.
God, I can sit here
Green cigar.
You can go get them at the bodega.
Yeah, right. They were extremely young, so the industry wasn't nearly as refined as it is now. So I can remember going with my grandfather and getting cigars, and he would go by the liquor store, and it was like he would point out stuff, and it was like, I mean, back then that's when Cuddy was like the big thing, or it was like whatever, Yeah, Rob, exactly. Exactly. If you say to a 25-year-old, "Hey, you ever heard of Cuddy?" They wouldn't even know what you were talking about. So it's like, I don't even know.
No.
I don't even know if you can still get Cuddy. That's what's so funny. So, but it's weird. How do you, So it's like everybody's drinking Taylor. I got one sitting here. What are they gonna do 10, 15 years from now? Is the craze gonna be the same? Is it going to be less? Is it going to be even more?
That's always been my thing because of the crazes around things like Taylor, which we talked earlier. Like I really enjoyed my bottle of Taylor, and I've tried small batch and stuff like that. Like it's really great, but when there's so much hype and so much energy, and it drives up the price crazily, I'm like, I want to find some other thing that people are not really on, and be like, you know what, this is amazing. This is why we always have conversations when McLaughlin is Chuck McLaughlin's on, and we're always talking about Evan Williams bottled and bond. Like, it's something that's flying under the radar. That's really good. Like that's the stuff that's always going to be my go-to. Like I want good whiskey and I don't want to be in the rat race to get it. Like I want to be able to find it. Doesn't have to be ubiquitous. It doesn't have to be everywhere, but something that's like you don't have to bend over backwards to find it, and you don't have to spend ridiculous amounts of money over MSRP to get it. Like that's the real good stuff, and that's one of the reasons why I love this. Again, I love this group and what we do is because we can find those things, and especially like the niche and boutique distilleries and stuff like that don't have a lot of exposure. Like they're making really good stuff. Have some of this. Get it, enjoy it, stay out of the damn rat race because it's just not worth it. Like it's not that the stuff isn't good, but like the damn headache involved with trying to get Taylor, Billy outside of your area, basically from everyone I've seen everywhere else. When people are posting, pictures when they got their small batch Taylor and they got their damn watch and their Porsche or whatever the stupid crotch shots and stuff like that.
Don't be.
Yeah, I'm not hating on the fact that you have a watch, but you're not trying to showcase the big dick energy of having the fancy bourbon and the fancy car and the big watch. Like you're not doing that. You just like it because you like it.
So, and I'm not trying to brag, but I don't know if you guys could see this. Probably not. But there's literally dust on this cap.
Little higher.
There's literally dust on this cap.
Okay,
yeah,
of this Taylor.
Okay.
It was just literally when I tell you, I go into my store where I have the relation, and it's just like, please, somebody.
But you talked to Rob and Gene, you're talking like $275 for that.
But it's like that. But
it's good. It ain't worth that. But
it's like for instance, I can get my hands on a whole case of Heaven Hill.
Yeah.
But big box stores like Total Wines and Pembroke Pines, like 20 minutes from me, they haven't had it for 6 months. I can go get a case of it right now. Taylor, like I said, I got the Magnum of Eagle Rare, and but listen, there's other stuff like we don't get a lot of the Old Forester stuff. The basic, yes, we get, but like Blanton's. If you see one bottle on the shelf, it's $250. It Stags is $1,200. I mean, it's crazy. I got like 2 or 3 bottles of Stag Junior. Right now, here in Miami, Stag Junior is almost $300, and we all know that we all know that's a $70 bottle at best.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know how these markets are and why things are this way one way and one way the other, but
it's
I don't know what group I was trolling through the other day. It may have been Bourbon Nation, may have been All Things Bourbon. I don't know. Guy posted a picture from the liquor store in Grand Central in New York City. Guy had a bottle of 2017 Pappy 23. $40K.
Stop.
Unreal.
$40K.
No.
Exactly. I'm like, he had an 18 for $15K. I was like, dude, are you freaking insane? He's looking for some hedge fund guy who just hit big, who's got just money to throw away.
Sub 30 schmuck who's got more money than sense. Yeah, like that's what that's about.
But here's the kicker, though.
And he'll find somebody.
Here's the kicker, though.
Sure as hell will.
If you hit it big all of a sudden and you went and bought that bottle with the intent to just literally blow it, then you can't appreciate the product. And secondly, let me stop. That's just somebody being greedy. I'm sorry.
Of course it is.
If I wanted to get a Wagyu brisket flown in from Japan, it's still gonna cost me maybe $400 or $500, and that's a lot. I mean, but you're talking about travel time, travel cost.
Yeah.
Why are you $40,000 for what?
Yeah.
Recognition.
If I wanted a whole Wagyu cow, it's not gonna cost me $40,000. It might cost me $12, $15, but that's for the whole goddamn cow.
Yeah. It's
You know, so I'm asking myself. That's what I don't understand about this bourbon thing.
it's
You know,
it's a grotesque culture of people who are not putting in work towards whatever that thing is, right? Because all they need to participate is money, and that's the thing. It's when, and I can't remember if you and I were on the same post together, but it was someone. I was actually explaining this to my girlfriend, just trying to explain bourbon to her because like she doesn't like liquor at all, basically. So it's all just like weird, foreign, whatever. Like you guys are so strange that you would spend so much money on alcohol, period, because she doesn't even like the stuff. But like it's somebody, it's like, oh well, I spent $1,400 on this bottle that was definitely not worth that for whatever. I can't remember what it was. And someone gets on there and brags, oh well, you know, my car payment's more than that. Like and that's nothing to me. And it's like this is bait because they want someone to say that's ridiculous that you would spend this much money, so they can more or less like mock you for like not making as much money for them, so you could blow it on exorbitant car payments and paying way too much money for whiskey. Like that's a flex. Like that is some people's lives. I just don't understand it.
But
This show is not supposed to be about vetching about privileged weird people.
But here's the thing, though.
It really wasn't, because I'm like, let's day drink for America, baby. Like I wanted to talk about the 4th of July, but like,
here's the thing,
here we are.
It worked.
As the industry, how do you make money where you price out 99.999% of your potential customers? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if the bottle is $5,000 and there's 10,000 people, out of those 10,000 people, how many can afford it, and then how many more are willing to spend it?
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to get at. And I don't think it's the distillers that are doing this. They set their prices and then everything kind of goes to hell. But I can assure you, Buffalo Trace has never said, make this bottle of Blanton's $350. I don't think they've ever done that.
No.
But again, as an industry, as a store owner, I understand you want to make money. Listen, I'm not going to ever tell you not to make money, but I need to price it so where people can afford it. And I can tell you this, I am probably one of the most expensive barbecue sauces on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Even on sale at $10 a bottle, I'm still one of the most expensive. But I can tell you this, when people order sauce from me, nobody orders one bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I try to price it to where it could still be affordable. You get what I'm saying? You can say, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. Yeah, all right, we'll see. And after they get it, they're like, oh, yeah, it's worth it. Let me order the whole family. Let me order this.
Yeah.
Let me order that. But
speaking of, we still got to hook up.
No, I got you covered. I got you covered for your birthday. Don't worry.
Man,
and listen, David, I'm going to tell you this. I'm working on my material to roast your ass.
Please,
I've been writing it down, brother.
Y'all, my birthday's Sunday. Fuck with me. Do it.
Oh God, bro! I've been writing down material. Gino, you wasn't.
Billy, as you know, anybody who's my friend does not talk shit to me. Like
Gino, you are now part of the class, so you will get roasted on your birthday.
Not a problem.
And let me tell you, last year I roasted Mark, I roasted David, and I think I got Chuck the best. Oh,
you got Chuck. You even got Jack Frost, man. I mean, you really put it in for everybody. You did.
So I love it. And listen, this year I got the little notification that David's birthday was 4 days away on Facebook. I was like, okay, pen and pad, here we go. Let me get.
I'm excited. This is a birthday present for me. It
listen,
really is.
I'm going to pull out the flamethrower on this guy.
Nice.
I'm here for it, man. I can't wait. I'm excited as shit.
So, again, it's one of those things that for me, I feel like, why would you ever outprice your clientele? Starbucks makes a crap load of money. If they charge $2 for their coffee, they would still make a profit.
Mm-hmm.
But they charge $5 and $6 or whatever, but they know enough not to price their customers and not charge them $30 for a cup of coffee.
Right.
Because nobody would pay it. So I don't understand with the bourbon industry.
Starbucks, any of their, we deal with we have a couple of the corporate franchises throughout our accounts. and their DMs will tell you, you're not in this business to sell the regular. You're not in this business to sell hot coffee and decaf. We're in this to sell the frappuccinos, cappuccinos, lattes, because that's where they're getting you.
Yeah.
You know,
And
a large triple shot of whatever with 5 pumps of this. Yeah, okay. So after the first pump, you're at 75 cents each pump. After that, oh yeah, you know, you get those drinks that got 15 modifiers on them, and you're paying for each. You're paying for a good bit of them modifiers.
Yeah, and these companies know it. Just the other day, you know, I'm always doing research. I'm always seeing, you know, what I can do. So everybody knows Sweet Baby Ray's, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I found this little interview with one of the guys who has a lot to do with the company. And he openly admitted, we are not the best tasting barbecue sauce. He's like, we just have market share.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I know for a fact there's better tasting barbecue sauce. He's like, but we have market share. That's what makes us so profitable.
Yeah.
He's like, and we don't care when Publix buys 3 million bottles and they do it buy one, get one, because Sweet Baby Ray's has already made their money when Publix bought all that barbecue sauce.
It's not consignment. They already got their money.
Right. So
Yep.
Sweet Baby Ray's is not out to be the tastiest barbecue sauce. They're just out to keep their market share.
Yeah.
And by the way, just a little note, the only other market that's harder to get a market share than barbecue sauce is makeup. It's the only other industry that's harder to get a market share.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that
makeup.
Cafe 305 mascara.
You know?
We got an idea.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't sit here and think I won't do a makeup tutorial for $5 million.
I bet your ass you would. But yeah, that's the difference between making the best product and winning at, you know.
Right. But that's why
marketing.
That's why I'm so don't understand what's going on in the bourbon industry and who's making these prices. Listen, everybody loves Taylor. Not everybody can get it.
Mm-hmm.
But even if I could get it and they told me tomorrow that Taylor's $90, it would sit there. I guarantee you. It would just sit there. I'm
not up here, man. That shit would fly up here.
But that's just it, though. The industry has gotten so lopsided like that they're willing to price out 80, 90, 95% of their potential customers.
As long as 100% of their products being purchased, then what are they? That's kind of what it comes down to. It's like they're going to move all of their product regardless. So what do they care at the end of the day? We can all fight it out and be unhappy at the price gouging and the secondary market and all that stuff. If you're a producer, if you've moved 100% of your product, you make your sauce, you move 100% of your sauce, and if there's this weird secondary market that crops up and people fight over your damn sauce, at the end of the day, you moved all your sauce, right? How much do you really care? So what's their incentive?
But I get it. I get you. You make it's perfectly logical. You're right. But at the same time, even with barbecue sauce, it is not a necessity. You do not need barbecue sauce to live.
That's subject, maybe.
Well, it is. Depending on who you're talking to, you're right.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
I hear you on the bourbon, but hang on.
Rob and Gino, like, I don't know, but listen.
Because I'm out of steak sauce now, and I'm really unhappy about it.
But here's my other thing I think about is as much bourbon as I have, right? And any of us, if we stop buying bourbon today, how long could we go before we are officially completely out of bourbon? I'm sure I can go more than a year.
Yeah,
Rob,
easily.
Yeah,
you said 4 years.
I don't even want to think about Mark. I don't even want to think about what Mark and
when the apocalypse comes, I know who to hang out with.
Listen, when God comes back, he's gonna ask Mark, listen, let me get some of that before I take it. We need some up here. We're out. We've been out for 3 years. You got 4 cases of it. We need some. So if you had to stop drinking, and if something happened with the economy and people stop drinking, which they're not, they're going to drink even more. But how are you going to keep your customers buying? You know, and I can tell you for a fact here in Miami, we're in hurricane season. Alcohol is for drinking, water is for emergencies. We don't drink water during hurricane season. We put it in the garage and hope we don't need it. We drink our alcohol because we need that.
That's right.
So it's just weird to me. And I guess for me, I'm not chasing money as my primary. Don't get me wrong. I want to make money. I want to build a legacy. I want to have a level of wealth. Absolutely. But I feel like my only incentive is not to make money. You know the joy I get when Gino posts a picture with my sauce in the background, when Rob posts a picture slathered in Alabama, or you know that picture I put up the other day with Mark and his dad.
Slammer, not white.
Yeah, right. But
put in there. Mark, I don't know if you caught that part of the conversation. Oh, he's gone again. Shit.
But it was funny though, because the other day when I posted that picture with Mark and his dad, the Cafe 305 was in between them down at the bottom. You know what people love? They love the fact that they saw Mark and his dad. That's what made that picture, not the sauce. So for me, you know what a privilege it was for my sauce to be down there in the corner, but that beautiful picture, that's why I post my fan mails, you know, because it's like, to me, that's what I go after. The hype I get when a new order comes in, it's not about the money. It's about somebody else is going to get to experience something that I made, you know. It's like, you know, one of my customers today, he ordered like 12 bottles of sauce. And, you know, the entire time it was moving, I'm tracking it. I'm tracking it because I want my customers to get their product. You know, I want them to be satisfied customers. So money is absolutely a part of it. Nobody's doing it for free. Mm-hmm. But I want to build something that people can enjoy, something that I can say, hey, this was my legacy. Yes, I made money doing it, absolutely, but I don't know. It's the same reason why I don't flip bottles. I'm not into it that hard, you know.
Ethical capitalism, man. Mm-hmm. Well, dying breed, honestly.
To compare your bourbon, your Sweet Baby's Raised statement to bourbon, like Buffalo Trace, Saz, all those guys. Once they sell it once they sold it, they've made their money.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's everybody else out there trying to make their own money or more money than, you know. If you damn well know if Sweet Baby Ray's came out and said we've had 3 plants shut down, we've got a halt in Sweet Baby Ray's production, it's people are gonna. There's crazy people, man. They're gonna go out and they're gonna hoard sauce. They're gonna go, okay, I've got 2 cases of Sweet Baby Ray's. That person really wants it. Can I sell that to them at $35 a bottle now?
Oh, it's not
exactly.
But that doesn't happen in a vacuum, though. Like there has to be some level of austerity, and then somebody has to hype that shit up and make people afraid. That's how marketing works. They don't sell you the product; they sell you the fear of not having it. Right. That's how really all. If you talk to anybody who really has like a background in marketing, they will talk. You know, if you see like Wolf of Wall Street or anything else, like it's kind of like an introductory course. They don't sell you the product; they make you afraid to not have it, and that's how the price of Sweet Baby Ray's would go up, or whatever the hell it is. And that's the same thing that's happening with bourbon and everything else. Yeah. They make you afraid of not being able to get one for yourself. So when you see it, you'll spend stupid amounts of money to buy it. That's how they get you.
But that must work on I don't want to say maybe small majority of people, because there's not a single cigar or a single bourbon in my house that I would be upset or much less afraid that if I couldn't get anymore. Okay.
You're not getting suckered, is what you're saying. I hear you. You're not getting suckered. Like, yeah, oh, this is gone. Okay, fine. I'll find something else. It's not a big deal. But like someone else is like, ooh, it's the Taylor, it's the Stag, it's the Pappy, it's the whatever.
It's
like you
the
can't really get it.
status.
It's the status, right? And you don't want to be the person who had the opportunity to get it and you missed out and now you can't. And now you can't have that status. They've made you afraid to not have it. And now you will go spend stupid amounts of money. Whether it's Sweet Baby Ray or bourbon or whatever the hell it is.
When I hear you say it, when I hear you say it like that, it sinks in a little deeper. I guess you know what I think it is, and you know, out of the 5 people that are watching this, I'm not afraid to be poor. I've been poor before. I'm not scared to be poor.
You got to be old poor, right? You know, you got to know what that's been like to have the spaghetti with the hot dogs cut up in it.
But
like,
you know,
hey, that's good stuff, dude.
You know?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. If I all of a sudden couldn't eat New York strip steaks anymore because I couldn't get it, I'm not gonna die. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there are those people who feel like if they can't live that level of life, that they're gonna jump out a window somewhere. I've been poor. Sorry, I'm not scared of eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I miss it sometimes. You know, I don't live on, you know, pate and caviar.
So
come on now.
You know, so y'all heard me. I kind of joked earlier. We talked about 4th of July. I worked. I did a 13-hour day on the 4th of July. My PM cook. I started at 5:30 a.m. and my PM cook had his car breakdown and couldn't get into work. So
he was day drunk like I was.
Yeah, exactly. My dinner for the 4th of July was 2 slices of my favorite local pizza that was cold from 2 days before. That was my 4th of July dinner. And then I went to bed right as I fell asleep right as the fireworks started down the street.
For real. Yeah,
So,
man.
all right, before we end the show,
Yeah.
Mr. David, your birthday's coming up. Since I'm gonna roast you,
Sunday.
I need you to give me 4 sauces that you want.
4 sauces. Oh damn.
Yeah.
Just give him
Well,
some
the steak sauce, sweet and spicy, Alabama.
I'm sorry, so I do not have a sweet and spicy sauce.
Not sweet and spicy. What is it? What is the
Tangy.
one?
Don't make me roast you right now, my boy. Please don't. I have a sweet and tangy. I do not have a
Sweet and
spicy.
tangy. That's what it is. Yes.
Okay.
All
right. So start over.
It's right there on the shelf. There you go, Gene.
Sweet and tangy.
Get him, Gene.
The steak, the original, and Alabama Slammer.
No, that's
Okay.
liquid crack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the street name. I understand. Tap those veins, man. Look at them pop up.
All right. So sweet and
Got the
tangy.
track marks.
Steak sauce, Alabama. And what else you said?
The original.
Original. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Gotcha.
My jam. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
Much love. Absolutely.
I don't know how much you're gonna love me after your birthday, because I'm.
Oh no. You've seen you've seen my friends. You've seen them on this chat,
dude. All I can
Jody.
It's gonna be vulgar.
I'll think you don't like me if you're not horrible. All right. So bring it, man. Do the fries.
Gino,
roast.
Speaking of which, when's your birthday, Gino?
In the fall.
See, now he's being sly about it. He's trying to be sly about that shit.
It already happened. It was in the spring. You missed it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
November 5th.
Oh, November. I'm November 9th.
Ooh.
That means I got to get
Wait. Remember the 5th of November? Like V for Vendetta and the Guy Fawkes? Like all that? You know, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I bet he does. Yeah.
So Gino's a fellow Scorpion. Oh yes.
Yes, sir.
I will get that ass on your birthday. Sure.
Billy, I'm 10 days
I
after
can't
you.
wait.
Yeah.
All right.
And see, I gave Rob a little leeway last year because he's my dog. I give him a little respect. But this year, oh no,
Bring it
I got
on,
some
brother.
fat ball man jokes for his ass.
Bring it on, brother. I'm down.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
It's all
Yeah.
I
good.
can't wait, man. But yeah, this is probably a good time to end the show, the live show. We've gone an hour and 15 minutes, basically.
Hey, good show.
So no,
Mhm.
you know, I love hanging with you guys.
And Mark
just
is still the
chilling
only
and
black
drinking.
man I know that can't go to Georgia.
That was just it. I'll be heading back soon.
Man.
My wife is going on Monday.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right, gentlemen. It was
Yes.
a good show.
You guys be
And-
good, be safe. For our viewers and people who participate, generally speaking, including Parzival the German. Parzival. That sounds like a King Arthur reference or
English
something. Like, I
name,
don't know. Like I don't know about that. But for everyone who's participated, really appreciate you guys. I had a lot of fun. It's great to be back. It's great seeing y'all. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Billy,
And
your
David-
line, sir.
David, listen, we know you just recently lost your grandfather. A shout out to that legend again. 90-something years old, a hell of a run.
He was a magnificent bastard.
Yes,
his entire
sir.
life. I've heard someone, y'all. I don't know if I'm up for an after show this tonight, but at some point I can tell you more stories that I've heard about him
There we go.
that made my jaw hit the floor. So like, it's that man. He's squeezed every drop out of life. Is all I can say.
Amen to that.
And that's the way we should all do it.
Yes.
And that's probably the number one reason why he's an inspiration to me. Much love to him. And again, thank you.
All right, fellas. See you
Be
guys
good to
soon.
yourselves.
Yep. Be good to
All right.
yourself.
All right.
Cheers.